So welcome back to another YouTube video. Today going over the voiceover. Been having some technical issues with my microphone, which I think I've sussed out the issue with that, with the adapter not working for some reason, so it's on the mend and hopefully I can get some good content out next week with YouTube. But for now, I'm just going to have to put up with sort of voiceover work and just watching some training. So first movement in today for back and calves, not back and hamstrings, is this hyperextension. These have been tearing my hamstrings up for the past 2 weeks. It's my second week on it, so you know, slowly getting into this movement, as I haven't really touched this movement in about 2 to 3 years. That was the last time it was in my session, so putting it in now, such a good movement. I've missed it, to be honest. You know, I think just after these first 2 weeks, it's given me more hamstring DOMs than seated or lying hamstring curl. I know in terms of putting load on hamstrings, you know, your lying and seated hamstring curls are better, and I will never take them out of my training. But you know, this hyperextension just adds to that. I think is a very good starting point, and you know, it's being swapped in instead of the stiff leg deadlift, because in terms of like recovery capabilities, I can't recover from that. I just end up chasing load on a stiff leg deadlift, and it, you know, crucifies my CNS. So just taking that out for now as we build body weight back up. Starting the back session is this rear delt pec deck. You can use this for a normal pec deck, but rear delts can be hit on here as well. Just kind of getting blood into the back and the rear delts. You know, still taking your to failure. You know, still doing the whole stack, so decent load put on. I think this was like 3 sets of 10 to 12. So kind of just getting us into the back session, but still, you know, still working, still making progress on this. You know, setting base numbers this week, I think, so I can hit next week. T-bar rope, one of my favourite back movements, is kind of our main compound for today. So gradually working my way up to this, you know, constantly doing all-time PBs at the moment. Well, it's only week 2, so constant PB, all-time PBs this week, but I will continue to do that as the weeks go on. But just trying to really focus on the upper back, using the wide grip handles here, and you know, driving as hard as I can into the upper back. I think the best thing about this movement is actually the stretch, the eccentric. On the way down, you'll see I kind of overextend my back and my arms to really get the eccentric and stretch the back out. You know, that amount of load just hanging off you is going to build tissue and make that back seriously thick. So if you can do that within your set, try it. It does work a treat. Accessory movement, this being the wide grip pull down, a standard movement which you've probably been doing since you started the gym. It still can be utilised because it's a very good movement. You know, pulling down instead of back here. I'm trying not to pull back. I'm just trying to pull down and hit my lats. Obviously keeping, you'll see my chest is up. It could be better, but the first few reps my chest is up. Still getting to grips with these movements and trying to find my working sets, because the order of movements have changed as well. So just trying to work that out as we go along, and trying to get the best sets I can out of these movements. Single arm lat pull down on the explode machine. Again, just trying to find my load on here. I wasn't too happy with this when I watched it back, to be honest. It felt really good, so I don't really care what it really looks like, but it just looks like I'm not really getting it as short as I could. And you know, the stretch felt great, the contraction felt great, so you know, all in all, I thought I was doing the movement. Maybe, you know, I could be getting it shorter, but you know, I'm on the lat for the whole set here. There's no time where I'm off that, but it does look like from these few reps here I could get a bit shorter. So that's just something I'll work on next week and go for the same reps and same load and just work on execution for a bit longer until I get used to this session. Onto the prime row, another one of my favourite movements. Back is just one of my favourite days, to be honest. Back and legs, because they're hard, they're brutal. There's a lot of load involved on all movements. This is like a lat row, so I'm trying to row kind of to my lower lat and pinch there, which I think I do a good job of doing. And trying to keep my chest on the chest support, but I'm not too bothered if it comes off during the end of my set, really, as long as I'm getting my elbows fully back, which you can see I'm doing. I'm really contracting that back at the concentric and getting a good stretch. Not trying to follow the weight down, but just trying to stable my back in a position where I can stretch from in one hold position and get a good contraction there. This is a new movement that has been put in the split, the pendulum row, so pretty much just rowing from the ground. This is my second week on it, just trying to beat last week's numbers, which we did, and work my way up in load. But a very hard movement when you come to the end of the whole back session. Back's fried. The last thing you want to do is bend over and pull some weight. So what are you going to do? You're going to bend over and pull some weight because it's hard. You need to get used to that. So these kind of pele rows, obviously just hitting the ground and pulling straight off the ground, pretty much. Slight bit of back elevation, but that's just from the actual row. On my second set, I actually keep my head up, and it was actually a better set because I was able to keep my back a bit straighter. But just working up on that, back is already full as a house, so it's just about putting some more load in the bent over position there. And then to finish, calf raises, seated. This has been the same throughout my last improvements phase. Just keeping seated calf raises in. We've swapped now to do standing calf raises on leg day, so this is my only 2 sets of seated calf raises, but working well in terms of load here, getting a good stretch and contraction. Intensity is always there, but main thing is we're just trying to batter those calves because they get a decent hitting on a day-to-day basis, so we need to hit them hard. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. So that was the back and calf session. Still having issues with my mic, so wasn't able to film or do any bits in between, which is annoying. I'm trying to get it sorted out. Don't know what's going on, but it's just not playing ball, so it is what it is. Just wanted to do voiceover for this one and go through movements like that instead of cutting in between and just filming like that. So I kind of still want to film and talk between, but if it's not working, I'm not going to play around, and I want to focus on the session and put my focus all on what I'm doing in the gym, and not have to mess around with mics during sets. Just puts my mind in a different place, which I don't want. So I'll get it fixed and then we'll be back on that kind of content. Yeah, that was back in calves. About 20 degrees in the gym today, so it was hot. Literally from set 1 of doing rear delt flies, started sweating, which is good. I like training the heat. I like training when I'm like that. Kind of fires me up. It's good. Keeps me warm as well, so which is good. The only thing which is kind of annoying or nagging at the moment is some elbow niggle, or elbow niggles, dull ache in my elbows, which is obviously not ideal, but just train through it for now. If it obviously gets worse, I'll mention it to Luke and see what he says I should do about it. But for now, just crack on. And it doesn't seem to be getting into my sets or making me not do sets, but it's definitely annoying. I had it as well some parts of yesterday, just like dull ache during the day, like if I was resting my elbows on something. So it's not a great sign with being week 2 into this push, but hopefully in the next few weeks it should start to get better, but we'll see. But today was like the first session of kind of progressing, because last week we set base numbers, so we started progressing from today and started trying to beat numbers, which was good, which is always my favourite thing to do. So from now on, all sessions will be progressing based. No more setting base numbers. That is done. Numbers are set in the logbook. Now we just take every single week and just progress all round. And what I am kind of drawn to in my bodybuilding is progressing every single set that I do. You know, even if that comes down to bicep curls and tricep extensions or any minute movement which, you know, you wouldn't think needs progressing on a weekly basis, I still try and do that. Even if it's reps, if it's execution, if it's load, we're still trying to progress, whatever the case may be. I think that in itself has made me build the physique that I've got today. I'm not saying it's A-class physique, but I think that's just how I like to train and how I train the best. You know, I don't like going in really and just not having something to aim for. That was my case even in prep. Even in prep, I would continue to progress probably till about 5 to 6 weeks out, and that was only because Luke told me to stop trying to push numbers and stop trying to push reps. And you know, I still logbooked up until 3 days out, but that was just like me ticking boxes. For me, it's just a mental thing to tick boxes and make sure I know what I'm doing. But you know, it made sure, the logbook made sure that I stayed on my numbers, stayed on my loads that I wanted to hit, and just do it that way. That's just something that I do. I'm not saying it's the best way to go about it. I think it's very, very normal to just go in the gym and kind of do what you want to do, have some sort of plan in your head, but not have to logbook and chase numbers. I think that's very normal, and we see, you know, probably 95% of the pros not even touch logbook. So, you know, there is no right or wrong way. I think it's just the way that you want to go about it. I've tried both. I personally like logbooking, and that's just what I like to do. But yeah, that is this week's video. Like I said, I want to go through all these training sessions now for the next few weeks. So today was pull. We've already done legs. I will do a chest and arm session, and then we've got delts and arms as well to go through. So I'll hit that on week 4. But yeah, this is week 2 of the second improvements phase. Really looking forward to get stuck into this and see what we can do to the physique. I think it's just going to level up, and you know, we're going to try and put on as much weight as possible. I don't know if I mentioned it on here last week or it was on my stories, but about 10 kilo up we want. So personally, I think that's really doable, since we put on like 3 to 4 kilo in the first week. But obviously that's from, you know, obviously going back on cycle. That is definitely not like muscle. It's just water retention and filling the frame back out. So it's definitely not added muscle, but once the kind of first bit of water gets retained and we fill the frame back out, the water will start to come off again, and we'll get some real body weight increases, which will be muscle tissue. So that just takes a bit more time into this phase. But yeah, I will leave it there, guys. Little outro there for the video. Hopefully next week I will be mic'd up and ready to go. Because I used to do all my YouTube videos for the last few years have always been without a mic, but now that I've used one and know the benefits of it and how good it is, just I can talk normally during my sessions and not have to shout and hold like the camera so close to my face. I know it's beneficial to you guys as well from a watch point of view, because I watch a lot of YouTube as well. So I don't want my content to kind of start going back downhill, you know. I want it to continue where it was with the mics and everything like that. So, and in terms of like, you know, I need to get back on doing reels as well and doing my content for Instagram, and I think obviously having a mic for that is beneficial. So well, yeah, we'll be back. Next session will be chest and arms, which I'm going to film next week. So we'll see you for them. But any questions or anything you kind of want me to go over on these YouTube videos in more detail, please just drop a comment below. Let us know the content you want to see, or any questions you have about any of the videos that I've posted. It's always much appreciated, and it's definitely notes taken on my part. If I do see something that someone wants me to talk over, it doesn't matter who you are, any what's it called? Yeah, any content you want to see, I will try my best to go over in detail and share more of my journey. So we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you got something from this video and took away anything you can take into your training, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.